Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new live episode of He Said, He Said, He Said. A look at the world from a seasoned Black man's perspective. I'm your host, Alvin King, and thank you all for joining us once again on this beautiful Friday evening. Now, in case you've missed it, the National Guards here in Washington, D.C. have set up tents practically all around the city, if they could, to take over the D.C. Police Department. But wait for it. Donald Trump has also decided that he's the perfect person to host the 2025 Kennedy Center Honors. And I mean, this man has managed to take a cultural treasure and turn it into an episode of a really, really bad reality TV. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is so ridiculous that we're not even going to waste our breath tonight talking about all of that. We have a bigger, a better, and I'm going to say a fabulous show planned for you guys. So grab your drink, settle in, get comfortable, if you will. Get your typing fingers ready because we're sure that you're going to want to, engage with what we're going to talk about tonight. But welcome to our show. And about our double header tonight, we have with us again this evening, Charles Reese. He's the award-winning spoken word artist, cultural architect, and star of Beauty and the Baller. Plus, you are getting a sneak peek of his new album, Speak, a Spoken Word Odyssey, Volume 1. And I cannot wait. Well, I've heard it. So you all are in for a treat tonight. And in our segment, We See You, where we honor and recognize Black-owned and operated businesses, we have Tee Wright with us tonight. She's the CEO and founder of Rent the Dress DC, a boutique making fashion accessible, sustainable, and empowering for every woman. Ladies and gentlemen, the CBC weekend is coming up, and you all need some dresses. So tonight, we're going to set it up so you can contact Rent the Dress DC because I've been to a lot of those CBC events, and I know some of you want to stop by Rent the Dress DC. So again, welcome to our show tonight. Tonight, we're going to do something different. We're going to talk about a word that's being thrown around called forgiveness. It's a beautiful word, and until it's asked of you by someone who once stood against you. Tonight, I want to talk about the kind of forgiveness that's not easy, it's not clean, and it's certainly not fair. I'm talking about the forgiveness some people are now asking for, people who voted for Donald Trump. People who look past his words, his actions, and the warning signs because they believe he would serve their interests. People who heard his rhetoric about migrants, about Black and brown communities, about women, about the press, and still, they voted for this clown. Now, reality has come home to haunt them, and it's called karma. Their jobs are gone. Their families are being torn apart by deportations. Their communities are feeling economic pain. And suddenly, they want to talk about, with us, and they want our empathy. They want us to forgive them. They want our understanding. But here's the question that cuts deep, ladies and gentlemen. If it wasn't happening to them, if it was still just happening to us, who's being affected by all this, would they be here asking for forgiveness at all? Or would they still be defending him, like many of them are still doing now in light of all this? Forgiveness is not a free pass. It's not just words. It's a choice we make often at a great personal cost. And for our communities, who have carried the weight of oppression, injustice, and open hostility, the question is, do we owe them that choice? So tonight for our chat, we're going to wrestle with that. We want you all to weigh in, ladies and gentlemen, because we know that you have some opinions and some things that you want to talk about. And we're going to look at what forgiveness really means when the harm was deliberate, when the warnings were clear, and when the regret came only after the consequences hit home. Again, welcome to our show tonight. We got a double header for you, and we're going to knock it out the park. So I don't do what I do alone, ladies and gentlemen. So if you all are ready, let's get on with the chat. My brothers.
Hello there.
My brothers. How y'all
I feel
doing?
like I've just seen you two.
Huh?
I feel like I've just seen you two.
Just seen you. What he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, we were out at a social this week, and that's rare. And we were all there. Okay, we the three of us were there, so it was great to see you all out this week.
Great seeing you too.
Great to see you. So, you guys have a great week. First of all.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Busy. Well, that's good, right?
Not the place.
Well, wait a minute. You know, our viewers have started to come on.
Already chiming in.
They already chiming in. So we want to say hello to them and welcome them. Troy Patterson, Monica Pleasant, Dr. Toole, welcome back. Robert, welcome back. Let me see. Michelle Sims, hey, love it. Michelle Bowie.
Hey,
we got the dual Michelles up in here tonight. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And for those of you who tuned in a little while ago, for our chat tonight, we're going to talk about this forgiveness that people who voted for this clown that some people are calling our president, are asking for from us. Some of them are some of our friends. To be honest with you, I'm not. Well, I'm sorry. They may not be your friends now.
Not my friends.
They may not be your friends now, but you knew them before. So I got like 4 questions I want to bounce off of you guys, if I can, and get you all's true, unadulterated opinions on them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So my first question to you and the viewers: if someone backs a leader like this person, and I had to call him a leader, knowing that he causes harm but only regrets it after it hurts them personally, do they deserve forgiveness from the people who were hurt all along? Why or why not?
I would say I'm not forgiving anyone, and it's not my place to forgive. And the reason being is that this is not new. Again, I'm not a fan of Ronald Reagan, and he did some things that really set the Black community back. And there are folks to this very, very day, including some Democrats, who think that Ronald Reagan was a good president. What we have now is a lot worse than Ronald Reagan in terms of the impact that it's having on the Black community, as well as the gay community. So with that being said, one should know better. One should know their history. And if you don't, it's not my place to teach you everything that you should know prior to going to that booth. So if you think that you are not that well informed, even though I believe in voting, don't go in there and vote because of some false reason you believe is going to benefit you and not think about the greater good. So I don't have a place for forgiveness when it comes to folks who are constantly voting for people that hurt the future of my nieces and nephews, my mother, my aunts and uncles, and 100 cousins.
I get that. I will say that, my Christian faith calls upon me to be able to find spaces of forgiveness, just as I have been forgiven. I fall short. We are all works in progress. And I would hope that people would offer me that grace as well. That said, I am human and we are works in progress. And I will say to you that I have been praying mightily to find that space of forgiveness. I have not found it, to be very honest with you. It is not a place that I have gotten in terms of people that, as Sean was saying, knowingly voted for someone who just causes such immediate harm to so many people and the future of what we know as our country. So I have not gotten to that space yet. I pray, in all honesty, to get to a space of forgiveness because I believe it's necessary to move forward. But I have not reached that space as of yet.
Well, first of all, I'm going to echo what Troy Patterson said. Good evening, Herbert. And
Troy was pretty short to it, right?
I'm echoing what Troy Patterson said because I can't really say what it really means. But to that point, I don't have any room for forgiving anyone right now because, it's like we're spiraling out of control. So I did have someone whose brother was deported, and I know them, and I knew that they voted for that person, and I'm kind of close to them. I don't forgive them for what they did. And so, I am a spiritual person like you, Bobby. So my answer is no. I don't have room to forgive you right now, which takes me to my next question for you guys. How do we forgive people for their political choices that hurt marginalized communities while still holding them accountable for the damage that they've caused? How do you forgive them?
I don't believe you have to offer forgiveness in order to heal yourself. And so I think one can heal without forgiving a transgression that happened upon them. Some disagree because some people say that forgiveness is you forgiving yourself. I don't know. So the way I balance it, those principles is again, I'm not the best when it comes to compartmentalization of things. I tend to just like walk away. And how do I hold them accountable? When they cross my path, I remind them of their transgression. And then I say my piece and I walk away.
I guess I'm of the school of belief that kind of what Troy had mentioned about being out in the streets and doing the work. I believe that, an apology, and that's something we haven't spoken about. Are we being expected to give forgiveness before someone has apologized even for what they've done? Because for me, before I'm offering you forgiveness, I really want to have a sense that you understand the error of your actions and your behaviors, because there are consequences for everything that we do. And so, as I often say to my students, your apology rings hollow if it is not followed by changed behavior. If someone does something and then they're just simply saying, I'm sorry, and then they're going to go out and vote for another person who directly harms other people, it just, so for me, it's changed behavior that's really big in terms of accountability. What are you doing to address, or if you will, correct your previous action?
So you both and Troy just spoke to like my third point or question. Should we forgive someone only if they truly mean it? Of which I don't know if they do or not. Should we forgive someone only if they truly mean it, or does it also depend on what they do to make it right? And I'm going to say your actions are greater than your words for me. But in a situation where you voted for this person knowing what type of havoc he was going to wreak, how do you explain that? How do you explain accepting them? How do you explain forgiving them? And I know people whose parents are Republican, but they're not.
I think for me, some of it has to also do with the context of my connection and my relationship to you. If you are someone who really considers yourself my friend, someone who really cares about my personal welfare and interest, and you've gone out and voted for someone who literally is taking away my rights as a human being, as a citizen, and deeming me it's one thing to just take the rights away, but literally placing my life in danger, then you can't really be my friend, because friendship requires reciprocity. It requires sincerity. And so there are people that I have chosen to not have in my life as a result of some of their decisions in this way.
Well, before you speak, Sean, I said something which I felt to myself that was like an open statement about I have people who have their parents are Republican or they're not Democrat. And I have found myself just completely removed from them at all. I don't dislike them. In fact, I feel like they dislike me because, you're the one who don't care about, the fundamental rights that I have as a human being to be Black, to be gay, to be successful, to be smart. You don't care about any of that because you put that person and their beliefs before me. So it's not me who don't like you. It's you who don't like me. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that out. I'm sorry.
Alvin, I agree with you 100%, Alvin. And I'll take it a step further. I don't need for you to show me your actions to say that you've changed or you understood the error of your ways. That's not about me. I've already removed myself from you, and I don't need to forgive you. I don't need you to come to me and say, hey, can you ask me for forgiveness? No. Maybe it's because I'm an Aquarius and we tend to be very, 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 very loyal. But once you cross that line, we're done. I'm done. I don't, like you said, I don't hate you, don't dislike you. I just don't have any interest. I don't want to be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that definitely speaks to Dr. Toole's statement, for which I strongly believe. Before we get to our last question, she said, I think I have to protect my peace and my heart and myself, which means I have to have boundaries with anyone who voted for Trump 3 times. Amen. Amen.
He speaks truth.
Amen. My beautiful cousin just came on here. How you doing, Vincent? Thank you for joining us tonight. I got one more question before we get on with the show. Bobby and Sean and viewers, thank you all for weighing in on this. So my last question is it fair to ask people who are hurting the most by these certain policies, like us, Black people, immigrants, and people of color, to be the first ones to extend forgiveness, especially in politics? And if you need me to explain why I asked that question, I will, but go ahead if you guys know. I think it's a dead ringer because I'm not going to do anything that I don't feel that I should do. And I'm going to go back to Dr. Toole's statement about protecting my peace.
Yeah.
And you got to remove people and their rhetoric at all costs from your life if you have to protect your peace, because there's a lot of people. I'm sorry. Let me talk about politics.
James Baldwin once said that I can't believe what you're saying because I see what you're doing.
I see what you're doing.
Amen. And I just feel like, marginalized communities, and in particular in the United States of America, Black people have shown endless forgiveness and endless opportunities of holding on to faith and hope that in spite of the behaviors of people around us, we too are Americans. We too have all the rights, and like we've shown endless forgiveness as a people.
Yeah.
And so I think we have certainly demonstrated that a lot. And so when I hear, for instance, Black women who, for instance, voted at a 92% rate to support others and lives of all people by their vote, who are saying they're just kind of sitting back right now and watching America do what it's going to do, I understand that. I completely understand that. I mean, they are like, forgiveness is on hold right now. So.
Amen. Sean, you want to close before we move on? You got something to say?
No, just ditto.
There you have it. He said.
Get out, he said.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you all for indulging us in that conversation about forgiveness as it pertains to this political climate. We really appreciate it. As I told you, I'm sorry, one of our viewers, Benson, said the biggest picture is a lot of Europeans don't have papers to be in the country. Let's be fair. He is making a statement. I'm not sure exactly what you meant by that, Vincent, but thank you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing show for you tonight. And if you guys are ready, I'm ready to get on with it. If you guys are ready. You guys are ready?
Yes.
All right. Well, tonight we have, first of all, welcome to our segment of We See You, ladies and gentlemen. And for We See You, we recognize Black-owned and operated businesses, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight we have with us Tee Wright. Tee Wright is the owner and founder of Rent the Dress DC, a fashion-forward boutique revolutionizing the way women shop for special occasions. With a passion for empowering women through style, Tee created Rent the Dress DC to make fashion more accessible, sustainable, and fun. Her mission is to help every woman feel confident, celebrated, and unforgettable, one dress at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to He Said, He Said, He Said Live, Miss Tee Wright.
Woo!
Hey, Tee.
Thanks for having me. You guys are so good. Oh
Don't sound so surprised.
I can't. And I'm not surprised, but the conversation was so good. And to my Aquarius brother, Aquarius, had to shout that out. I'm just like, conversation was really great. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. We certainly tried. You know, we call ourselves not a news show. We don't even label ourselves, but we know one thing for sure: we are a resource to somebody. Okay, somebody wants to hear what we have to say. So, welcome to our show again. Congratulations on Rent the Dress DC. So, I'm just going to kick it off right now to keep us moving. So, T, spend a moment to tell us what inspired you to launch Rent the Dress DC and how, if at all, your personal journey has helped shape your brand.
Oh my gosh, of course. So I started this as a personal stylist in DC. And I just want to shout out Troy real quick because I saw he made a comment about Troy. Two of them are very dear to my heart. So yeah. So I started as a fashion stylist, right? Personal stylist. And in that journey, I saw a need. Like women were looking for dresses and they want to look good, but they don't want to have the clutter in their closet. And I had so many women coming to me talking about how they could rent a dress, or can I buy this dress and return it? You know, we all do that. It's unspoken, but it's been done. And also just about being in a space where they can feel special and wanted. And that's where I birthed Rent the Dress DC. I mean, I'm not the first person to have this module of renting, but it's unique because it's a local boutique and there's nothing like this in the DMV area. And you get special VIP treatment from me. And it's more like you're coming into your girlfriend's closet to shop. And also it's so important for me to be size inclusive, because that's another thing that women struggle with. Like, you know, women, we are all shapes and sizes and we're all beautiful in our own right. And sometimes it's hard to find that. And it's important to me to include all women, to make all women feel special. And that's where Rent the Dress DC came from. And I sat with it for many years and just afraid to like jump out there, as many entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
And I had the great opportunity. My aunt, she owns a suite in District Heights, Maryland, and she had a space available for me. Her shop is the Brat Box. Her name is Geneva Coleman. And she had a spot available for me. And I said, you know what, this is my time. Like, this is the time for me to just go ahead and do the thing. It's scary, but it's so needed. And my first mission before renting dresses is always to empower women. So that was important to me. And so I made the step out there into this scary space, but I'm so glad that I did it. I'm so happy that people are seeing me. I just launched in December. And so I'm fairly new in this space, right? And I'm just excited to be here. And I'm excited to have women find more about me. And because of people like you and platforms like you, I am being seen and women are being able to know that I'm here. So yeah, I'm here to just make women feel like special and wanted. And come shop with me. Get the VIP experience. Get your champagne. Get your styling advice. So I'm here.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you got out of your way.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you got out of your way and that you're here with us. Thank you. Thank you.
It is clear that you have an eye and image, and all of that is really important. I love your logo. I want to tell you, nice, clean. I love it and so forth. Tell us a little bit about, in your mind, the most tangible way that Rent the Dress is changing the way that women in DC are looking for just for a social occasion. Because, you know, we got a lot of social occasions in DC. So.
Oh, we have a lot of social occasions and we have some big events coming up. And so for me, it's, I'm taking the stress away from women, right? I'm taking the stress away from worrying about like if my dress is going to arrive on time. And a lot of confidence building. And a lot of times women, we're afraid to say, like, we don't feel confident about ourselves. And I'm in a small space and it's intimate, and I can bring women here and I can give them that confidence booster. I can make sure that they have their dress when they need it and not waiting for it to come. Or and it's a DMV, like all things are happening, right? So there's lots of events, and sometimes women are traveling to this area and they so happen to get invited to events and they don't have a dress. And I am providing that for them. So it's like your last minute stop, but it's not just like I'm going to a big box shop and pick
No
out
name store.
no names.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going somewhere where someone's going to take the time to like educate me about my body and make me feel good. So I am changing that. And also I am changing the world of sustainability, right? So I do believe fast fashion isn't going anywhere. I'm not totally against fast fashion, but I think I can help it in a space where if I am curating dresses from fast fashion, I'm still sustainable because I am recirculating those dresses amongst women. So I am cutting down on, the waste. I mean, 80%, and when I did my research, I didn't realize this, like 80% of clothing end up in a waste field. 80%. And we don't know those facts. And so I am changing that by having women rent dresses and not buying a dress and then throwing it away or tossing it somewhere where no one's going to wear it again, or put it in your closet and creating clutter for yourself.
And it's not doing anything. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell that you're an Aquarius because you sound very, very altruistic. And you're thinking about other people. And you talked earlier about being inclusive of all body types. And I think that just fits well with your nature. I can sense it from your aura, if you will. It's obviously there. So with that being said, okay, so how does Rent the Dress promote being inclusive and body positivity and the accessibility in fashion?
Yeah, of course. So in any of my marketing that I do, I make sure that I include women of all sizes. I was just recently on Channel 9 News, and I made sure that I was representative of all women. A lot of times you'll see ads and you'll see like the typical model size. And it's very important to me whenever I'm doing any type of marketing. I'm going to do a fashion show, and I am looking for everyday women, every sizes to present my business. I have sizes from extra small to 3X. And because that's a woman, right? We're not just one size. So it's so important to me that I talk about it. And the more we talk about it, it's out there. Women see it, but not just talk about it, but be about it. So when women come to me, they are able to find the dresses. I'm not just talking about it. When you come to my shop, you can find a 3X, you can find an extra small. So it's, to me, more putting your, what do you say, putting your mouth where the words are, or whatever that saying is. I think
Well, yeah, putting your money where your mouth is.
money where the is that. But I speak it, I mean it. It's important to me.
Okay.
It's super important to me. Yeah.
You had spoken to sustainability. I was going to ask you a little bit about that sustainability and so forth, and then you addressed that question. So I do have one other question for you. When I'm thinking, as I'm looking at all your dresses, is there a particular style that is the go-to must-have look?
I would say sequins. Like, women love sequins, and I'm not a sequins girl. And so that's the other key. When I shop, I'm not shopping for what I like. I'm like studying women. I like to see like what women like. And women love the bling. They love the bling. So when I'm shopping, I'm like looking for like all the like sequins and glitter and glitz and all those things. I'm more like a simple type of girl. Once in a while, I'll jump out there and do something sequency. But yeah, you definitely have to study women. You have to talk to women. What do you like? A lot of times when I'm shopping, I'll ask my friends, like, do you like this? Would you wear this? And it's not just about like what I like or what other people or what I think is attractive. It's like, what do women like? And so that's important to me. So yeah.
It
Thanks.
sounds to me, T, that you have been doing a lot of learning, and of course, you're entrepreneurs. So, and like you said, women, there is no monolith. This diverse. So, with that and all the learning that you've done, what has been your biggest lesson in building a brand for a group, for a ground up, or from the ground up, I should say? Excuse me. And how do you stay inspired during your challenges?
So first, let me start with how I stay inspired, because I think that's important, right? I stay inspired by keeping myself around other entrepreneurs, not just like other entrepreneurs, but my friends, like people that are involved in my life. They keep me going when I'm feeling like depleted or I can't do this thing. I can, even if I'm not doing something, I can attend something that they're doing, and it inspires me to like keep going. So surrounding yourself with those type of friends and family members, I think that's what keeps me inspired. And then also just being a woman, like I'm a woman's woman, like
Mm-hmm.
of all things, like I think it's so important. And for me to encourage and promote and inspire other women, um, that keeps me going. And I don't know. I've been in a space where I've not felt good about myself, and I know what that looks like, right? So I want to be the woman who is helping the next woman, because I'm in a different space in my life, right? So I know that it's a lonely space and it's hard to like come out of that. So if I can, and it's like each one teach one, like when you get to the top, you reach down and you pull someone else back. And that's important to me. That's what I was taught in growing up with my mom. My mom was in fashion. Um, and my mom, she is very religious, and she taught me those things, like to look out for the next person and to be a good human, like to be a good human. And because I love fashion, that's where I practice being a good human, is in fashion.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Well, I have the honor of having the last question before I let you go, T. So I don't know if you know it or not, but I have a fashion background as well, probably, as you know. So I have a question that I actually didn't put in the line of question, but I'm going to ask you. Tell us how did you obtain your collections? Are they via consignment? And how do you go about doing that?
Oh, so there's different channels. So I do consignment. There is an amazing secondhand store here called Fia's Fabulous Finds. It's in DC and Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
So I shop her collection at her store. So I have some consignment things. Also, I have an amazing support system. Like when people talk about like family, oh, don't count on your family. I'm lucky. My family, I have my sister-in-laws, who I hate to call them my sister-in-laws because I love them. They're my sister in love. They will be at a consignment shop, and they know I have my shop. They will see dresses. They will send me pictures, and they're like, do you want this dress for your shop? And I'm like, yes, girl, give me that. And since I've launched, I've had so many women reach out to me to say, hey, I have this wedding dress. I have this prom dress that my daughter wore, and she only wore it once. Do you accept donations? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And then, of course, I shop. I shop online. I curate a lot of dresses I do shop fast fashion for some of the dresses. I have some designer dresses. I have some fast fashion dresses. And so I'm just like keeping in lines of like what's in style, what women are looking for, what looks good on a woman, what's sexy, what women love. And then I shop those things. So it's a wide range of different ways that I curate my dresses.
Well, thank you. And I see my cousin, who knows that I am a fashion guru, and he's asking some questions. And unfortunately, viewers, I can't type into so I can type back at you because I don't want to interrupt our guest. But I did put her the email. I'm sorry, yeah, her website. Go to Rent the Dress DC, and to my beautiful cousin, you can get all of those questions answered if you go to the website. So please do that. I wanted to type that in the comment section. How you doing, George? But I can't do that. So T, one last question before I let you go. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs like yourself, especially women who want to break into the fashion or rental industry?
I would say, I mean, it's so cliche. People say, like, don't give up, but it's so true. Like, keep going. You're not going to, it doesn't happen overnight. And don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. I mean, I've moved from different spaces in the fashion industry. And a lot of times we're so fixated on doing this one thing, but find what works for you and make that thing happen. And then surround yourself with like minded people. That's another thing that's like so cliche, but it's so important because they understand you, they understand your journey, they understand the fight, they understand the struggles. And when you need somebody to call and cry to, they understand. They're not going to look at you like you're a weirdo. Like, why are you crying right now? It's because I'm in business and I got to make this thing happen. But definitely, like, surround yourself with people. And I always say this, I'm going to say this forever, be a good person. It
Yes.
goes a long way.
Amen.
It goes a long way. Be a good person. When you're a good person, good things happen to you. You're able to make things happen in life. And you're not doing it as a return, but you're doing it because it feels good. It feels good to be a good person. So that would be my advice to another.
I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please in the comments section, y'all can hit click, or I don't know if there's some icons there, but please give it up for Tee Wright for being here from Rent the Dress DC. You are making my life easy, T, because when women call me now, I'm sending them to you. Okay. Well, I'm sending them to you, but you know, I might have to work some things out, but I'm sending them to you. You know how that goes. But thank you for being here. Congratulations. You are as beautiful, you know, on camera as you are in person. And I just love what you're doing. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
Okay, again, Rent the Dress DC. Look,
God.
look, if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, take them down there.
Get
Okay?
a dress, and her positivity just like comes through the. She's
She's an Aquarius. What do you expect?
You said what?
She's an Aquarius.
Okay, Sean. Okay, Sean.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, again, welcome everybody who wasn't here at the first half of the show. I see my brother Stonewall Jason is here, ladies and gentlemen. Herbert, thank you so much for giving us an applause tonight. Well, again, the special show continues. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a gentleman who is back with us for the third time, ladies and gentlemen. Every time he's back, he has grown and has grown, and he has grown to Grammy status now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you can, guys, can I go ahead and introduce our next guest?
Let's get him in here. Let's get him in here.
All right. Look, I'm sitting up here nervous about this one, ladies and gentlemen. Look, Charles Reese is a multifaceted artist, producer, and cultural architect, founder of Teeth and Eyes Communications, renowned for projects that celebrate Black legacy and foster intergenerational dialogue. As a voice, arts, and awards winner for outstanding spoken word performance and a Grammy voting member, Reese seamlessly blends storytelling, live production, and music to drive cultural impact. A communications and theater arts graduate from the prestigious Morehouse College, he has collaborated globally with artists and institutions to create powerful events at the intersection of art, activism, and heritage. His critically acclaimed work, bringing James Baldwin's legacy to life, has been widely praised. Through his innovative productions, Reese continues to push boundaries and inspire new conversations about identity, culture, and social justice. His highly anticipated second album, Speak, a Spoken Word Odyssey Volume 1, is set to begin streaming on all digital platforms on Tuesday, August the 19th, this being August the 15th. So we are debuting his new album before anybody else sees it, ladies and gentlemen. It is exclusive. So if you all will indulge me, before we bring Charles on, I want you all to listen to this first clip, The Year I Forgot.
Welcome to the Charles Reese Experience. At the sound of the tone, please leave your name, your number, and a brief message. And guess what? We'll get back with you as soon as possible. Have a great day.
Accomplishments. Accomplishments represent triumphs of everlasting feet to you, because it was sight without seeing during times of uncertainty to where this road is leading, pleading, heeding change, where we are not the same. Your theory among history's plain matter has transformed, being beyond limitations and hesitation of formations, grabbing life's magnetic force to be alone with substance, sustaining breath, relived life, celebrating yearly ritual of origins, bringing new sights afloat on this day of your birth. Happy Earth Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Charles Reese. All right.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
My. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Charles, but before we go on, I want to shout out, I don't know who the individual is, but someone is joining us from Canada tonight, okay? My producer just told me, so I just want to shout out, I don't know who the individual is, and I just want to say thank you for showing up with us tonight from Canada. Thank you.
It's Rick Ehrlich.
Rick. You know what?
Well, you know Rick.
What? And tomorrow I can say he's from Japan, or he might be from Israel, because that's how his life moves.
That's how Rick rolls.
That's how he rolls. Welcome, Rick from Canada. Thank you for your support, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Charles. On behalf of the He Said crew, welcome back again. It is always joy to have you with us, and you always bring such wonderful artistry and good news and energy and all that kind of stuff. So welcome back. And it feels like since the last time you were here, a lot has indeed happened. Congratulations are in order. And I know that most recently you won the Voice Arts Award. So we want to hear a little bit about that award and what that was like for you.
Well, first of all, thank you all for having a listening session that I can do in the space where I actually recorded my album. I'm actually in the studio space where I recorded. And since we were talking about Black business, this actually is owned by a Black woman and her two sons.
Supporting Black business, yes.
Yeah, Luna Lab Studios and Moon Global Studios. So I'm very honored to be in this space. As it relates to the Voice Arts Awards, the Voice Arts Awards are what we call the AKA, just like the Oscars. It is the Oscars of voice artists that you hear on your promos, TV programs, and all of those announcement people that do that kind of work. So that's what the Voice Arts Awards are. They are started by two African-American folk, Rudy Gaskins, who is actually from Washington, D.C., by the way, and his wife, Joan Baker. They started what's called SOVAS, S-O-V-A-S. It stands for the Society of Voice Arts and Sciences. And they are the bearers of this award, and they'll be celebrating 12 years coming in January. They have now moved the awards, so they're really one of the kickoff awards starting in 2026. So it's SOVAS, the Voice Arts Awards, Rudy Gaskins, and Joan Baker.
That is absolutely wonderful. And ladies and gentlemen, as Alvin said, Charles has a new project about to be released called Speak. And at this time, you're going to get yet another example of why he is an award-winning voiceover talent. We are going to hear a He Said exclusive from the upcoming project Speak. We are going to hear Seats We Don't Own.
We don't own seats bought by tax dollars and apparatuses of doom to fill the blood shedding of a young African children in the streets of anarchical, colonized, non-libertarian formations of repressing real democracy, where we are unanimous in united measures to sustain. Life quality cannot be obtained through oppression measures by resting on a bench, spinning my mind with these ghoulish tricks of force. I write in pen, signing black or blue. I write in pen, signing in black or blue. I write in pen, signing in black or blue. Where is the white ticket? Wicked forces, calling those of the past, incantation falling upon the thought of liberation, liberty, freedom, where we sit together on seats we don't own.
Love it. Love it.
Drop the mic.
Let me just jump in really quick and say this. She's not a background vocalist. She's been by my side. All that high-reaching. Her name is Arne Batson. She's a 2-time Grammy nominee that was formerly with Sweet Honey in the Rock.
Oh, yes.
Come on now, bring it.
Yes.
Again, Charles, so this is my first time talking with you. I know that you've been on before. So again, thank you. It was great to listen to your work. But you are a Grammy voting member now. So again, congratulations on that. Okay. I know it's a big honor. Not everyone gets to vote on in that organization. So, but what was the process like becoming a part of the Recording Academy class of 2025?
Well, first of all, Sean, welcome. I've been watching you for a little while, so thank you for holding space and being that third brother of he said. Grammy. So here's the situation. In order to become a member of the Grammy Academy, remember, it's not a union like SAG and all the other places or unions organizations I belong to. It's an academy. So you have to be invited into the academy, and it starts with a letter writing process. So someone, and I'll tell you who that was later, you have to have a couple of letters, but I'm going to tell you the main person that wrote a letter for me a little later. That's the first process. Once those are in, then you get an invitation for a long process of a application where it's online and you have a series of questions, a lot of questions. For me, because I came in on the poetry spoken word side, and I like to thank my 6th grade teacher, the late Mrs. Lillian Falk, who was my school teacher at Scott Montgomery Elementary School in Northwest DC, for introducing me to poetry, who knew that in my 6 decades that I would become a poetry spoken word artist and being a part of the academy. So I say thank you for that. But it's the letter writing campaign first, and then you have an application. And that process starts every year in February. You have to be recommended. Then February, once you get your recommendations, you get your application. And in July of every year, they announced who the folk that got in. This year, they let in 3,600 people, which means that's my group of people that I can begin to learn and know each other and things of that nature. And there are a lot of things to do in the academy. And I'm going to start participating in it as my first year. So that's the process. Letter writing campaign first, and then you get an application. And it's about a 6-month, 8-month process. And they'll let you know in July. I got mine on July the 9th.
Congratulations.
Yes, again, congratulations. And I can see the excitement in your voice and your face. So again, it's an honor. But how did you prepare to vote for the Grammys? And what's the process like?
Well, the process is like me getting this album out on time so that we can be eligible for submissions. So last year when I had the first album and I premiered my Baldwin album, I had to get a voting member to work with me to do a submission. So the first process in getting into the voting pool is that you have to go through a submission process. The only people that can submit you to the Grammys is actually voting members. So those 3,600 new members, if they've accepted everything before July the 31st, they are allowed to vote in this next season, which is the one that's coming up for this February. So the voting process works like this. Between July 7th and August the 30th, well, actually August the 29th, that is when all submissions go in. Once those submissions are complete and you've been verified that you have been submitted properly, then the first round of voting starts in October. That runs from around the first week of October until November the 7th. That is when they make the official announcements of the people who made the cut for over 100 plus categories. We only see a number of the ones that a number of the big categories are done on television, but there are a series of Grammy week. During the Grammy week, all those winners will be announced in February. So the process is submission first round voting, and then the second round voting happens probably late December, and then that announcement happens in February in 2026. So this album that I'm releasing on Tuesday happens to fall in the line because the line of submission is between October 2024 through August the 30th, or I should say 29th. So that's why you see a lot of people letting their work out around June, because they're qualifying from the last year to the end, I should say to the end of the summer.
Well, we're going to hear something from your new work, and again, an exclusive. And I'm going to also put out into the universe that you being a Grammy voting member also get a Grammy nomination with this new piece of work. Okay, so it's yours. So let's hear a clip from Speak. This is a clip called One.
The flow of blood all around the young children, yelling in horror, our children screaming, piercing sounds of slice, bang, tear, rip, beyond pages of the novel drama, ritualized, our children sing out. The darker face of the earth, Rita's spirit conjuring doves fly forth, calling all poets, calling all poets, calling all poets. Our children turning, tossing, writhing in violent, hopeless, fatal despair. One was singled out. One was singled out. One was singled out. Then two, then three, then four, then five, then six, then seven, then eight, then nine, then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and many more. But one was enough. And the rage went from out to in.
Oh my
Ladies
God.
and gentlemen,
You must
that
be
was-
exhausted when you've done one of these. It's just so-
Charles, I have to say that this is, I went to see Audrey McDonald in Gypsy this past Saturday, and hearing you do that, I don't know why it brought back memories. Like, who is this person? Okay, who is this person that I talked to? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Anything you want to say about that piece before I ask you my next question?
Just really quickly, I got to thank my producer, Everett Moon, who is a young millennial under 32 years old. He helps me select music for all of these pieces. We have a very interesting procedure. He did my last album. So Everett Moon, Luna Labs Studios.
Amen.
Thank you. All right, Everett. Well, I want to also say hello to Arnold Falsetti. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you have come in here. I just want to make sure that we acknowledge you. Reverend Brown, thank you for being here tonight and blessing us with your presence tonight. So, Charles, this may seem like, okay, to some people, but I know there's something behind this. What inspired the title, Speak, for your second album?
Really quickly, I'm going to answer this very quickly. I was not planning on doing this album. We ended up putting this together in 3 sessions and 1 pickup, and he's finishing up some things today so we can upload on Saturday to be ready for Tuesday. That's how that rose. I was just feeling that I need to speak about something. The word came to me, I used it, and I actually ended up, along with my writing partner, Irene Wiley, we ended up writing the title to the piece after I said it.
Well, thank you. Look, okay, he just said what he said, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. That's where the title came from. But we are about to play another piece from Speak, ladies and gentlemen. The next exclusive is one of my favorites. It's called Seasons.
The season brings flavor to the earth, coloring nature of things turning from old to new growth through death's call. Freshness of green, changing orange, changing brown, changing leafless ways. Distorted branches of night where today reinvents time, moving away toward the end of the beginning to move energy waves of nothingness through this spare hope's corroded beam seems to elope with fantasy, a whimsical force traveling near, far-off planes of existence, channeling spirit doomed by disbelief, praying relief of hunger pains, kissed with country's curse, breaking spells beyond horizons across white gloom, reaching far into kinetic source, divorce from outside the triangle between optical eclectic illusion, performing farce, becomes rational within irrational energy waves of nothingness, moving through despair.
I just want to get a glass of wine or something, just sit back and just enjoy this. Look,
it's joy watching him listening. Come on, Charles.
Just want to get it. So, Charles, how does this project differ from your first project?
Well, I've been on a learning curve. The first project was, I would say, more traditional, and I just focused on really the poetry, very minimal music, but more soundscape. This one allowed me to explore how music collaborates with these deep words set to beats. You might be sitting having your wine, and one of your catch, ooh, that's pretty deep. So we kind of sort of did that type of thing. And all of these poems, about 8 of the poems come from a purple book that was bequeathed to me by my belated playwright, Morehouse brother, Howard Simon. And a lot of them are written between 1996 and 2000. And I've just been re-engaging them.
Bravo. Bravo, my brother. Bravo.
Charles, we recently lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, a loss that many of us grieve and felt personally, even though we did not have the opportunity to know him personally. In your case, you did know him personally. And so we express our condolences to you on the loss of your personal friend. How are you dealing with that loss? And we understand that in this new project, you have dedicated a song to him.
Yeah. Well, first, I'm going to first start with this and say I'm still sending love, grace, peace, and mercy to his mother, Pamela Warner, his wife and daughter, who I did not know, sending them personal hugs, and the entire family, and also, as well as his father. Yes. I always like to start there. His mother did finally make a statement, and if you want to read that, it's on what's called the MJW Legacy page now at Instagram. So go check that out, because I think that helped me through the process. But I was writing on Facebook, and I wrote a kind of like what I thought was something that helped me get through it. And then later I decided that I would just go ahead and do a poem with my writing partner. And we gave it to Karen Briggs, the violinist, and she took us to another level. And it's helping me to heal. We hope that it'll help you to heal. And if you're dealing with any type of grief, please know that you can reach out to a lot of resources and do that. Take your time and heal. And I hope that this piece helps people deal with our dear brother, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Well, we thank you for sharing it with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we get now to hear the personal dedication to Malcolm Jamal Warner by Charles Reese.
A poem for brother Malcolm Jamal Warner, actor, poet, musician, writer, director, activist, father, husband, son, and my brother in the arts. Malcolm Jamal, named for activist Malcolm X and musician Ahmad Jamal. Gentle, excellent, humorous, kind, compassionate, strong, beautiful, brilliant. Malcolm Jamal Warner, in remembrance, I call your name today as I hear you speak to us from the great beyond, saying, radical self-love is the most revolutionary act that we can endure. Your words continue to nurture our souls as the world mourns and remembers you, grieves with your beloved family, celebrates you eternally with love and inspiration.
Wow.
We speak his name. Malcolm
Absolutely.
Jamal
We do.
Warner.
We speak his name.
And what I mentioned this earlier, the reason why I got into the Recording Academy, Malcolm wrote me one of those recommendation letters.
Wow.
Wow.
That that hits hard. It really does.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because you said that you weren't planning on doing this second album. So with that being said, what is next for you as an artist?
A couple of things. I'll just do just a couple because I know timing is always a thing. But I'm celebrating my 25th anniversary of doing my work around Baldwin. 25 years ago, I was on Off-Broadway. So I'm going to be utilizing this year of releasing the play version so that regional theaters and other companies in the United States and abroad can begin to actually do that work. So I can sit out and just watch people do it and come in and be a guest and talk. So that's one. Two, I'm beginning to find ways to utilize my poetry spoken word albums as a possible residency. I'm also going to be doing some online classes around Baldwin and around how to put together an album. And last but definitely not least, I'm going to be taking one of the pieces from the album. It's called The Picture Show, and we're going to develop that into an animation short piece.
Nice.
Well, much success to you. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to end our discussion with Charles Reese. And before I ask my last question, I just want to say thank you for allowing He Said to showcase you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for giving us your time. And it's like I'm watching my son grow, because every time you leave here, you come back bigger, better, stronger, and just more beautiful. So thank you. Thank you. But our last exclusive clip is called Phase. But before we let you go, I want you to tell people how they can purchase Speak, how can they get, because we need to get you to that Grammy status. We need to get you there. So tell everyone, how can they purchase your project Speak?
It's all very simple. We're in an upload society. So as of Tuesday, you can go to all the social streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, they'll all be there, Amazon, and all those spaces will be available. You can also reach me on my webpage, www.charlesreeseexperience.com, just to find out where we're going. And we will see where the journey leads. We just take one day at a time. As James Baldwin once said, you don't tell life, life tells you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we close out our conversation with the amazing Charles Reese, our last exclusive clip that he has allowed us to share with you tonight is called Praise. Thank you, Charles.
Right on. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Power to the people. Right on. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Power to the people. Right on. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Power to the people. Seeking a phrase to capture the moment of revolution, walking, disillusioned, confused, no guidance confined to time when we kill, destroy, employ revolution, seeking a phrase that forms discourse of collective reason in a time where we kill, destroy, employ revolution, seeking a phrase igniting ferocious flames, burning in upon the light of day, where we should see distant sights of history whose past time killed, destroyed, employed revolution, seeking phrases that signify praises of freedom. Right on, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, power to the people, caught in a daze of what could have been and might be progression toward mystery, the unknown, confusing haze, seeking the phrase. Right on, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, power to the people. Right on, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, power to the people. Right on, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, power to the people.
Look, first of all, Dr. Tools asked a question before we let you go. Power to the people, Charles. But Dr. Tools asked a question. I just want to make sure that if you could answer that question, because it is, I think, was a very important question. Are you on Bandcamp or somewhere that you'll get the money from sales?
Yes, I'm actually on DistroKid, is my actual distribution person, and we actually get most of our money through that. I'm happy to invest in some other areas, so I will be looking into that. But DistroKid's been one of the main sources because everything is done, uploaded through that process, and it's put out through the ethers, and it comes back to us. So that's what I have.
See, our viewers want to know.
Exactly.
Charles Reese, don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you back. But thank you, my brother. Thank you for being here tonight. We so appreciate you, man. Congratulations on everything you're doing. Thank you. Whoa.
Wow.
Well, and a special shout out to our producer, Norman, who we celebrated his birthday last year. I had him working
Last week.
I mean, last week. I'm sorry. Look, okay. Look, last week we celebrated Norman. You earned that one tonight, Norman. Very wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. You know, and I always have to apologize when we go even slightly over because you all are so dedicated and supportive of what we do. Hello, JJ. I didn't say hi to you earlier.
Hey, JJ.
We did see you. But look, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have the amazing Dedrick Tillerson here. He's the author of I'm Nobody's Maybe. I have been reading this book. Say it again. I'm Nobody's Maybe. Okay. This book had me on the train last week going to New York almost in tears. Okay. So he is here next week to talk about his book. And our words of the week, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Bobby. Don't be afraid to spend money on traveling, as I just mentioned. Be afraid of growing old and realizing that the only place you ever went was to work.
Hello.
Amen.
Hello.
There.
Hello. Bobby and
Sean, just go to work.
Sending major love to my brothers. You know, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all to all the viewers for tuning in tonight from near and far. We really do appreciate you, and your support means a lot to us. And tell a friend, okay?
Tell a friend. Tell a friend. And until next week, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you on a new live episode of He Said.
He said.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks, everybody listening in.
Be safe.
Have a great weekend.
Ciao.
Bye.